start us off when you're ready.
Hi Daniel.
Hi.
Can we start just trying to tidy up, if you can expand on what happened last night? I mean, for example, Willie Gnonto, is there any more you can say? Has he trained? Is there any way back for him? Is he still in your plans?
Nothing to add what I spoke about yesterday. I gave you the answer. Willie was today in training, trained really good, and let's see what happens to the weekend.
Okay, so I'm not saying it's all over at this stage. He's part of your plans at this stage.
Yes, all my players under contract are part of my plans, and we respect all contracts, and obviously, yeah. So the first step is always like you have to train really well, and once you train really well, then you have the chance to get a spot in the group who travels to the games, and then you also have a chance to play. Yes, of course.
Now, how difficult is it to manage a squad during a transfer window like this, where you've got players some might want to go, some will go, and you want others trying to get a place in the squad? Is it really hard?
Well, it's difficult. I don't complain because if it would be easy, everyone could do this job. I know it's always difficult during this transfer window, and especially after relegation, because it's quite normal that there are then sometimes some question marks because these players were used to play on Premier League level. I think it's just important that we learn also a bit the lessons out of this window, and in terms of how we create the contracts also for the future, because at least my opinion is always, as a club, you always have to be in the driver's seat. So you have to be in control over everything. And we spoke quite honest and also self-critical and open about that due to all the exit clauses, not that easy at the moment, because then you're not in control anyhow. And we just have to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I also know why there are all this exit clause, because quite often you argue then, it's quite normal, 90% of all these players have this, otherwise you can't get this player. My attitude to this is, then we play without this player. Then we don't sign him anyhow if he wants to have an exit clause anyhow. So if all the other clubs do this and 90% of the players do this, let them have this. But we are not like all the other clubs. We are Leeds United, we are special and we are unique. And for me, also the lesson we have to learn as a club anyhow, at least my attitude is I just want players who are fully committed and fully committed to play for Leeds for the length of their contract, and not to think about some exit clauses when there are other clubs interested anyhow. They have the chance to go. Really, I rather go without a quality player if he's not fully committed, and that's the topic for me, and this is more or less the lesson we have to learn for the future. So it doesn't help us in the situation right now, but I think it's quite important how we also work out the contracts for the future, that we make sure the club is always in control and always in the driving seat. But the situation is like this. You can't blame the players for this. So we have also signed the contracts in the past. We have given the contracts. So it's also not up to blame the players. They have the contract. So it's up to be professional, to respect also the situation. But I think it's quite important to learn also our lessons for the future.
So in terms of creating the right atmosphere, and getting the positivity in a group that wants to be here, do you feel you're winning that battle now?
Yes, they are positive. So all the players who are on the pitch for us, they give their everything in order to defend this white shirt, and nowadays it's sometimes also a pink shirt anyhow, so you never know what happens. But be sure. So it's also like, really, I rather, if for me names or transfers or salaries are not important. For me, it's just important what I see during the games and on the training pitch. And believe me, so just players who are fully committed to this group of players who are fully committed to our club will play in the games. And also yesterday as an example. So yes, we had to play without several quality players, and then also not that easy even to beat the League One side. But we delivered yesterday the highest distance that we've covered as a team since 2019. There was just one game in the last 4 years where we had, I think, 150 meters more than we covered yesterday. And this shows also, like, if you are fully committed, if you give your everything, if you stick together and you work hard, you win football games. So I would have preferred to have a bit easier shift, if I'm honest, but it's also a good testament to our fitness. So if you're capable just 2 days after a tough game against Cardiff, in the first week of the season, when you still are starting to get into your rhythm, to deliver such a performance from the physical side, you can take lots of confidence that you're on the right path and with your physical work. That means you're fit. You will also need this fitness for a long season. But this says also that the players on the pitch yesterday were fully committed and were greedy to work. Perhaps not always perfect. I was not really happy with the first half. But if you show this commitment and also this work rate, I think everyone in the stadium is happy. Every Leeds supporter is happy, and they forgive then sometimes even a mistake in the passing or perhaps even a lost duel anyhow. But this is what our supporters need to feel, that they want to have players on the pitch who are fully committed to work. And be sure, as long as I'm here responsible for this group anyhow, if I'm responsible as a manager, I just pick players who are really fully committed to work unbelievably hard, and everyone can count on this. So if a player is for us on the pitch, he gives his everything in order to win this game, and this is also how we will keep going with working.
Dan, I've noticed, I saw the game in Oslo against Manchester United and I've seen what's happened now in the last few days, and it's a big shift. Is this been the biggest and quickest impact that you've had on a group of players?
No, I'm not sure. So if I would say so, my biggest impact anyhow is that group is right now fit and puts a shift in anyhow. So would mean I would praise myself. So all the praise goes to the players. So we can just bring them to the door. We can make them work unbelievably hard in training. We can make sure that they know, okay, they are just picked if they deliver in training, if they deliver and give their all on the pitch. And I told them on my first day, with me, there's never a problem if you're there. And you have a poor day anyhow, and it's football. They are all human beings, and there are no machines or no robots anyhow. So it's quite normal that you sometimes have a bad day and you don't have your best day and you have mistakes in your passing. But what I always want to see is more. You give your everything for this group, and you work unbelievably hard. And obviously, as you know, also my reputation and how I like to play football and how I see football. Yeah, obviously I want my players also to be tidy and accurate in the passing and want to be good in keeping the ball. But for me, the basis is always like that we give our everything, and this is the most important topic. And I think I put this message across. But it's not up to me to praise myself that this is my impact. No, it's totally up to the players. And if they deliver a physical performance like yesterday, they deserve all the praise. It's not like me. I'm just on the sidelines with my hands in my pocket and watching a bit football. So for me, it's quite relaxed. So players have to work and have to grind and have to dig in. And that's what they did today. And if they do this, I'm pleased.
What are the chances, finally, for me, of having any of the injured players back this weekend, or any new faces then?
Yes, we will see. So in terms of any new faces, we just speak about business when it's really done and all agreed. Yes, and at least some good and positive news with Greenwood and also with Rita. So they joined today the first time during this week in parts of team training. Obviously for Sam, he was out for 4 weeks, and it's no chance to be involved for the game at the weekend. But Georgie just missed 1.5 weeks. So let's see how it develops over the next 48 hours, but signs are quite good, and could be that he is available. Perhaps not for 90 minutes, but he could be an option to travel with us. And if this is possible, would be definitely a major boost also for our quality players up front. I'm looking forward to have Georgie available as quick as possible, and there's a chance for the weekend, yes.
Thank you.
Hi Daniel. What's been your assessment of the 2 games overall so far, and sort of like how has that changed, in terms of what you think you might need before the window shuts, or has it changed it much at all, or where are you at now as much as that?
No, the first assessment is that we are physically in a really good condition. Also, the spirit within the group is really good to come 2 times back after you are in a losing position at halftime. On Sunday, even 2-0 down, and right now also 1-0 down, and to show such a mature performance. Could ask for any more in the second half yesterday. Yeah, perhaps for a third goal. Yes, that's right. But we didn't allow our opponent to have one chance. Anyhow, we were all over them, had more than 80% possession, 0 corners for them. So forced also to score goals. Anyhow, so spirit is good, fitness level is good. Also, our football looked good in spells. We know that we if we want to be really ambitious, we need to add also a few more quality players in to create also a bit more depth within the squad and have a few more options, because when some of our senior players are not available as a first choice. We even realized that yesterday a little bit, and we could sometimes struggle in terms of quality. But yes, the one thing is that we can have a wish, but the other thing is also like we won't panic, and we will stick also to the financial reality and the financial rules anyhow. And for that, it's a bit tricky, the situation, but we try to strengthen our squad. So it's not I'm worried too much about outgoings. It's more like we're also concentrating on bringing some quality players in, and we're working unbelievably hard behind the scenes, because for me it's also important not just a quality player, but also a player who is really fully committed to Leeds United and also shows this pride to work for this massive club. And I just want players who are really full of pride to work for this club and fully committed and believe in also in the mid and the long-term future of this club. And for that, yes, we have to work even a bit longer, instead of just searching for a short-term solution, or perhaps a solution with exit clauses or something like this. So it means we have to work perhaps even a bit longer and harder, but then to make sure that it's a sensible solution. And we're working quite hard.
And just ask you about Birmingham, what are you expecting from them this weekend, and how important is it to sort of like get that first win on the board? I know you said, didn't you, that August, you expected August to be a tricky month, obviously, because we can see the circumstances, but to sort of like hit lift off and get that first win this weekend.
Well, first win the week in the league is always important, but in general you also could see how much good results in the last weeks. So the last two friendlies, and right now the first two competitive games, 3 wins and 1 draw, already changed a bit the mood in terms of confidence anyhow. So it's a major boost. Also the win yesterday was good. Our supporters had to wait, I think, since April to celebrate the first win in a competitive game. It's good to have this win under our belt. Yeah, obviously we are also highly motivated to add the first 3 points in the league, but I also have to say I'm pretty respectful of Birmingham. I think they're doing a really good job. The team is always structured, well structured against the ball, physical side, many quality players, many experienced players also on this level, experienced coach. They know exactly what is necessary to win points on championship level. So we are fully aware they have many options also in the offense, players who know how to score. So we know for me I think when I judge our last 4 games so far, this will be the toughest opponent that we had so far. So it's a big test, especially also away game. So at Elland Road we have also the help of our supporters. So we need definitely also our away traveling supporters to be there again, like a wall behind us, and to help us. But I expect the most difficult test so far, and let's see how we are up, if we are up to it. So in general, so my feeling is we are prepared and we are greedy to show good performance and also to win as many points as possible. But we are also traveling in a pretty respectful mood, not fearful, but respectful.
Good stuff, Anthony. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, Daniel. Can you give fans any kind of update on Tyler Adams and his situation at this stage?
No, because he's still, I would say, at least 3 weeks away from joining us in team training. It's more like in the final stages of his rehab. It's just closer and closer. But like I mentioned before, so I don't expect him to be in the mix before the international break. Like I said before, so he needs a few weeks to be back. And if some business happens behind the scene again, so that's not my topic anyhow. I will just comment it anyhow when business is done. Till everything is done and sorted. No comments from my side.
Joe Gallagher is somebody that's been highly regarded among the fan base here for several years now. Of course, went away on loan last year. What have you made of the impact he's made since you've seen him this summer? And how do you feel you can get the best out of him and maybe light the fire in him again?
Well, it's always important also to count on your own products out of the academy and your young lads. And what I like a lot about him is that he totally identifies with the club. And even yesterday, perhaps there are some areas in his games where he can improve, yes, and he knows this, and we're speaking quite honest about it and work quite hard in training about it. And he needs to step up in a few areas. But what I liked also, he puts a shift in. It's also he was greedy in his pressing and yes, was perhaps not the most gorgeous goal in the world yesterday, but was also a goal of will. So to be there and to force and to use then also the rebounder to bring the ball anyhow, even with a quad anyhow into the goal. A goal is a goal, and I take this good for his confidence. And we need players on the pitch who can score. Yes, and obviously he knows that in different areas he has to improve, but he's a good lad and is working unbelievably hard, and we'll try to improve him as much as possible.
Daniel, through a journalist in Norwich this morning, Max Aarons has said that he's very sorry to you for what happened yesterday. I wonder whether you accept that and how you feel about what happened.
No, nothing. The only topic yesterday for me was our game, and we won the game. That was the most important topic. I don't speak about any players who are under contract with other clubs, because I wouldn't expect any other clubs and coaches to speak about my players anyhow, even if they are their former players or perhaps in the future their players or whatever. So from my side, there are no comments to any other player, also not to comments from any other player. So I totally respect the contracts.
Where are you at with your goalkeepers at the moment? Are you kind of decided on who's first choice? Are you still in two minds about who's going to be your number one this year?
Yes, I'm unbelievably happy with my goalkeepers. I would say this is the area where we are more or less done and everything is sorted, because I think Ilan is a fantastic goalkeeper. He's proved this during preseason, also in the first game, and also with Karl, unbelievably experienced guy, great lad. Anyhow, who came obviously a bit later to us, but unbelievably experienced on this level. Also pretty mature player, homegrown player, quite important. We've got some young talent here as well. I'm really pleased, not just with them too, but also with Danny and Christopher. Anyhow, it's good to have them. And the goalkeeper position, if I'm honest, is my last worry. So we would like to improve more or less on each and every other position, not to improve, but also to bring some more depth to the squad. But on the goalkeeper position, everything is done. Obviously, Ilan has started the league game, is our number one, but we have also great other choices. And also with Karl, really quality goalkeeper. But that's also what we need. If we want to be ambitious, we need top class goalkeepers, and I believe in all of them. It's good to have them. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Good, thank you. Good. Safe travel to Birmingham then. Good.